Okay, in this video, we're going to be looking at transformations of graphs, and we're going to use tables to help us to transform each of these graphs. And we're going to start with some easy ones, and then they do get a little more complicated as we go. All right, so the original graph of a parabola, we want to be familiar with the points it goes through. So it would go through 0, 0, put in 1 for x, you get 1, put in -1 for x, you get 1, you get 2, comma 4, and -2 comma 4, just to make it look like a nice curve there, look like a parabola. And we do want to be able to write down those points. So the original graph, untransformed, the points that we want to use are -1, 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1. So you want to be familiar on the basic graphs with at least 3 points on each graph. More are fine, but 3 really is enough if you know what the graph looks like too. All right, so when we do a transformation, the first transformations we're going to look at are shifts. So it's either going to go left or right, or it's going to go up or down, or it could do both, okay? So for this first one, number 2, I'm going to write the little chart over here. So we have space, but it's parentheses x minus 3 squared, okay? Because it's in the parentheses, this is going to be a horizontal transformation. So this is a horizontal shift, okay? And it's a horizontal shift. Notice that it's x minus 3. So we would need to put in 3 for x in order for that to be 0, like 3 minus 3 is 0 squared, 3, 0. So this is a horizontal shift to the right by 3. Okay, so so we're going to do our points. Okay, and we first have our original. This is just y equals x squared. This one's going to be x minus 3 squared. So our original points are -1, 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1. Okay. Our new points, we need to add 3. Let's see where I can write this. Add 3 to each x value. Okay, we actually don't do anything to the y values because this is just a horizontal shift. So if you add 3 to the x value, that would be -1 plus 3. So that would be -2, 1. 0, 0 would become 3, 0. And 1, 1 would become 4, 1. Oh, and that doesn't seem right, does it? The -2. So let's think about that again. I think I was talking and calculating at the same time. So -1 plus 3 is +2. Yeah, of course. That makes more sense. It'll look better too. So 1, 2, 3, there, 3, 0, 2, 1, and 4, 1. And that's the bottom of the parabola. And the rest of it would go curving up like the other one. All right. Moving along, for number 3, it says y equals x squared minus 3. Notice there's no parentheses. So when it's happening to the whole function, you're going to take x squared and you're going to move it down 3, the whole thing down. So this is called a vertical shift. And this one would go down 3. Okay, so let's write our chart over here to plot their points. Our original is still x squared. Our new one is x squared minus 3. Keep those original points, -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. And then for this graph, since we're going down 3, we're going to subtract 3 from the y value. Okay, so it's going to be y minus 3. All right, so in other words, the x's will stay the same, and then 1 minus 3 is -2, and then x stays the same, -3, and then 1, and then 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Okay, let's pull out those points and see how it went. So negative 1, negative 2, 0, negative 3, and 1, negative 2. Okay, and as you can see, the parabola is the same shape, but it's shifted down by 3. Okay, that's why it's called a vertical shift. All right, let's look at a couple of others similarly. Okay, so this number 4 says, and we're doing the same original graph, says y equals negative x squared. Okay, there's no parentheses. So when there's no parentheses, it's vertical. It's not happening to x, it's happening to y. It's happening to the whole function. This is a vertical reflection. And since it's vertical, it means it's flipping, and it's so it's flipping over the x-axis. So vertical reflection over the x-axis. Okay, so we're going to take, or I think I can fit my little chart over here this time. So our original was the x squared, our new is the negative x squared. And so what we're going to be doing to the points is multiply the y value by negative 1. Okay, we're just multiplying the y value by that negative sign. Okay, so our original points were negative 1, 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1. And now our x's stay the same, and our y's are the opposite. Okay, the negative of 0 is still 0. So I'm making all the y values multiply by negative 1. All right, so then when I graph this, notice I'm only graphing the new one. It's kind of helpful, right? 0, 0 is still graphed, negative 1, and 1, negative 1. Okay, so just like it sounds, a vertical reflection flips that parabola over. Okay. Okay. Next, number 5, let's look at y equals 3x squared. I'm going to have to put that one over here. Okay, 3x squared. So now, again, there's no parentheses, so this is happening to the y values. Okay, we're stretching the graph out. Vertically, it's going to be taller by a factor of 3. So this is called a vertical stretch by a factor of 3, or just by 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the y values times 3. Okay, so let's make our chart. So our original is just x squared, our new one is 3x squared. So negative 1, 1, 0, 0. You know, you keep writing these charts and you will memorize all these points really easily. Now vertical stretch by 3, so the x values stay the same, the y values multiply by 3. 0 times 3 is still 0. Okay, so now we can plot this. We still are at 0, 0, but we go negative 1, 3, and 1, 3. So our graph is still a parabola, but it is tall and skinny now. It really just got taller by a factor of 3. All right, and then our final one is y equals 1/2 x squared, 1/2 x squared. Okay, so that is still vertical because there's no parentheses. It's not happening to the x, it's happening to the y, the whole function. And since it's times a half, it's called a shrink. So a vertical shrink, because it's going to get smaller, by 1/2. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take all the y values and multiply them by a half, or divide them by 2, same thing. All right, so in our chart, here's x squared, here's 1/2 x squared. Okay, so now take all the y values and multiply them by a half. It's going to be a little hard to graph this one, I think, on these graphs. but we will just make our best estimate. Still 0, 0, and then this point is 1, 1/2. Okay, so here, and then -1, 1/2, and 1, 1/2. So it's really, the graph is a little shorter and fatter is what it ends up looking like. It looks shorter and fatter than the original. All right, we'll continue on another video.